So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and unplug the power. There we go. And then you want to remove the back panel. So to do that, you actually have two screws. There's the Phillips screws on the inside. I know it's a little dark here, but you see right here, there's a Phillips screw that fits in there, and there's one on the other side, the same exact opposite side. So once you remove those, then this part here will flip open. Alright, so once you have loosened up the screws on both sides, then you can flip this up right here, and you just let it lean on the back. And this is a part you have to disconnect right here. You disconnect this one, and then you put it back in the back piece. Then you'll be able to remove these two clips. You're going to need any kind of screwdriver. Not always this one. There you go. And same thing on this side. So once you do that, you just go ahead and lift the lid, and you grab the washer. You can do it with one hand, and it will come right off the lip. So when you put it back in, I know it's going to be a little dirty down there, but there's actually a lip. So when you put it back in, I'll show you here as well. You want to make sure that the outside parts on the sides of the machine fit on top of the bracket here on the bottom, and the front fits underneath it, so it seats well. Alright, so once you remove the front, this is what's remaining here that you're going to be seeing. So what you have to look for is down here at the bottom. There's actually a new piece here. There's this pump here that fits in the front, and for this one here, you can basically use your hand to remove these two brackets. It's not really on there tight, and I just go ahead and take the top one off completely. Remove this, kind of push it off to the side, and I can remove the other one just to make sure it's not hanging from the motor. And this piece here, you gotta make sure you remove. You may want to wear some gloves just to make sure that there's no electricity going through, just in case, but it's already unplugged. So the next part is going to be these two right here, these two brackets. And I do have the screws off there because they're holding on pretty tight, and I haven't seen any damage from not putting the screws in. But to do it properly, you probably have to put the screws back in. Again, this is an old washer, and it's working fine just the way it is when I put the brackets on without the screw. So what you're going to do is bring these two brackets down. Make sure you put some support under the motor with one hand, and then remove the bracket with a screwdriver with the other one, because there is some little bit of tension on those. So for that one, I like to use a straight slot screwdriver, and I'm going to go ahead and put the phone over here. I am using it, and kind of hopefully give you an idea. From here, what I am doing. Remove the bottom one. And the top one actually holds it by itself. So if I was going to remove my hand, the top one actually holds it up pretty well, if you can see. But I'll put my hand back underneath here and release the top bracket. Again, with a straight slot screwdriver. You can see this one's bent a little bit. And I just make sure I take the top bracket out. I leave the bottom one there. Now there is a cardboard piece that fits underneath, and I would suggest trying to make sure it gets on there. Looks like last time. Then go back on there. So once you remove it, this is basically what you're going to see. And see, here you go. So this is actually a plastic one, and see right here. So this one has been there for about a year. So I actually broke in the middle here. The gears didn't break, they stay intact, but the coupler itself separated. So this one here is still in pretty good shape. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one off as well. Put two brand new parts. Alright, so we're back. You can see the motor here. So basically, it's like two brand new parts. I'm talking about two brand new couplers. One of these couplers here. I'm also going to replace the rubber piece as well. See this one here, it has a little bit of wear, but it's not too bad. But if it wears out too much, it can also cause it to break. So putting these pieces back on there, going fairly easily, but sometimes you do have to put them on there. And I like to sometimes use either the back of a screwdriver or a socket to push it back on. And I put each one of them separately. So this one's going to go right here on this gear right here, and you got to make sure it fits on. There's a flat part. You see right here, it will fit a certain way. And then I'll put the inside one in, and I'll put the rubber piece on it. Alright, so here are the new couplers installed. There's the one here on the motor, and there's the other one right here. I know it's kind of dark, but this is it right here. You make sure to spin, and that they're in there fairly flush. And then the next part is putting in this piece right here, the rubber piece. Let's see if I can get it for you. Right here. So this would go either right here on the coupler, or you can put it here on the motor, whichever one is easier for you to put it on. Or too fast. It seems like these are on. They're pretty tight, but the coupler was on there earlier, so it will fit, and it's nice and tight now. And sometimes it goes in easy, sometimes you gotta fight with it a little bit. Now this motor has some weight to it, and if you can have somebody help you, sometimes it's easier, but that's not always the case. I find that if you line them up, usually I try to put one of the prongs on the coupler at 6 o'clock, and try to line up the rubber piece that goes on there at 6 o'clock as well on the open side. And kind of wiggle it to get it in there. And I have my friend Marley here joining us. Marley, you're in the way. It's Marley and Max. You wiggle it until it goes in. See, right, this one actually snapped in fairly easy. So I want you to see if I don't know if I had a good shot of what I was doing here. Put my finger right in front of the camera. So basically, this is what it should look like. It's in there flush, and I put it in basically just the first time up in just a couple seconds. So the next thing you want to do is do the reverse of what you did to take it off. So since I only have two hands here, nobody's filming for me, and just only trying to help. First thing I'm going to do is put the top bracket back in. So I have to lower the motor a little bit just to get in there and started. And I just snap it on. There you go. Make sure you don't get your fingers in between the bracket and the motor, because It will pinch quite a bit. I'm talking for experience here, but I used to be aircraft mechanic for 12 years, and I don't know what metal pieces can do if you get your fingers stuck in between. Alright, so there we go, and I was able to get the cardboard cover on there. And do not forget to place the electrical connector back on. Oh, sorry, you have a puppy helping out, it's not always easy. So make sure you put your electrical connector back on, make sure that it does snap. Right here, try to pull on it. I apologize if the video is a bit shaky. Make sure it's in there good. Alright, so get that part in, and then this goes on fairly easy. Sometimes, since you might have spun the motor shaft, you may have to see where it's located on this right here, and then try to place the shaft in the same position. And this one you can wiggle around as well. There you go. And then the next brackets are fairly easy. Usually do the top. I'm doing this with one hand. Usually I use two hands, but I'm using my phone. For you can see what I'm doing. Ah, there we go. See, that's what I mean by getting your fingers in front of a metal piece. Luckily enough, didn't get it stuck. It just got the sharp edge at the bottom. So if you were going to wear gloves, it may make it easier for some things, but being a mechanic, I like to be able to feel the parts, especially if you can't see where you're working. And you can see here how for the brackets. So let me pull this one back off so you can see. So right here, see how it has little ears. So you have to put it in straight up and down first, and then spin it. And you put it in both. That's for all the brackets. Easier with my other hand. There it is. Alright, so there it is. So those pieces are in. So mopping the movement away. Alright, so basically that's it. It's put back together. If you have time, you can probably try to watch, clean the bottom of it. But now I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on. And then again, as I said, on the cover, make sure that you get the sides going on top of this part right here. And then the front has to go underneath this right here, because if not, your washer will be shaking all over the place. All right, and to put it back together, it's pretty much a reverse. And if you stay with me, I'll show you how I connect it back up on top as well. All right, so putting it back together on top, put these brackets back in, and then going fairly easily. You just go in. Put it right there. If I put it in correctly. There we go. And then you just put then right there, and you just push the two other parts inside the metal part of the washer. Same thing on the other side. Last but not least, before you close the lid back up, make sure you plug this back in, because I've done it a couple times to where I forgot to plug it in. Then you got to reopen it up. Then you just place this back down, just step a little bit on it, and then wiggle it, and it fits right in. Then you just put the screw on in the back and plug it in, and then you're ready to go. It's going to start spinning. Alright, once you put it all packed together, last thing you want to do is shake it real well, make sure it's on there good. and you're ready to go. Hope you enjoyed this video, and comment below if you have any questions or if you want to let me know how much value you got from this. Thanks again. This is Didier Fouché signing out.